we have a beautiful problem here. We are given this function f of x equal to 15 minus absolute value of x minus 10. Then we are given another function g of x is f of x. Right, that means with this x, we have to replace with again with this f of x. Then when is this g of x not differentiable? Okay, so we have absolute value of this, and then there would be one more absolute value. Right, let us first try to create this g of x. What is g of x? F of x. That is nothing but 15 minus absolute value of, within this x, we have to replace again this one. 15 minus absolute value of x minus 10. This is again our x. This becomes our x. Then minus 10. Right. This x is actually replaced by this one. 15 minus again absolute value of x minus 10 by this thing. Right. This is our g of x. G of x equal to this. Now, which is nothing but 15 minus absolute value of 15 minus 10 is 5. 5 minus absolute value of x minus 10. Right. 15 minus absolute value of 5 minus x minus 10. So this is our function. Now let us try to see where this is differentiable or not differentiable. Okay, let us try to draw the graph of this function. We have, let's start with the absolute value of x. What is the absolute value of x? It is like this. Very familiar graph, we know. Right. Now, let's say this function absolute value of x versus absolute value of x minus 10. If f of x is this, let's not call it f of x, let's call it p of x. P of x equals to this, then p of x minus 10 is this. Right, what does that mean? P of x minus 10 is shifted 10 units, p of x 10 units towards the right side. Right, it is shifted 10 units towards the right side. So this is absolute value of x minus 10. Right, this is absolute value of x minus 10. So what is this point? This point is 10. And what is this point? This point is also 10. Right, when x is 0, then obviously absolute value of x minus 10 is actually equal to 10. Right, this is absolute value of x minus 10. Right, now we want 5 minus absolute value of x minus 10. So let us create minus of absolute value of x minus 10. Right, p of absolute value of x minus 10. P of x minus 10 we have done. Now let's call p of x, whatever this graph, if we call this graph as some q of x, then we are creating minus q of x. Right, minus q of x is what? The same graph reflected with respect to x-axis. Right, this is minus of absolute value of x minus 10. Obviously, what does that mean? This point is what? This point is minus 10. This point is 0. Right, so now I am erasing this one. We have created minus of x minus 10. Now what we want? 5 minus x, absolute value of x minus 10. So that means we have to add 5 to this minus of absolute value of x minus 10. What does that mean? We have to shift this graph 5 units upwards. That means this one, this point, right, entire graph will shift 5 units upwards. So this becomes minus 5, right, and this becomes plus 5. This becomes plus 5, right? This becomes minus 5, and this point, what is this? This point is 5, this point is 10, this point is 15. Right, so what roughly we'll get? We'll get something like this. We'll get this point is 10, this point is 5, this point is 15, and this point is what? This point is 5, and this point is minus 5. Right, 5 minus absolute value of x minus 10. Right, now what we have to do? Absolute value of this one. We have 5 minus absolute value of x minus 10. Now we want to do absolute value of this one. That means whatever is there below this, that will flip. Right, whatever is below x-axis, that will just flip upside. Right, so then this part will flip upside. right? And whatever is here, it will remain. And this part, whatever it is here, it will also flip upside. What does that mean? This is 5, this is 10, this is 15, and this is again 5, right? This is absolute value of 5 minus x minus 10. Now we want negative of this, right? We want negative of this graph. What is negative of this graph? Entire graph uh, flipped with respect to x-axis, right? So again flipping. This is 5, this is 10, and this is 15, right? So this line flipping will become this. This is minus 5, and this line when flipping it will become like this, right? Then it will become like this, then it will become like this, right? This is 5, 10, and 15, and this is minus 5, right? Now this till this part it is done, we have to add 15 to this, right? We have to add 15 to this, means entire graph should be shifted 15 units upwards. So what is this? If you shift all the graph 15 unit upwards, this minus 5 will become minus 5 plus 15, which is equal to plus 10, right? So the graph will look something like this, and then this 5 will shift, the 0 will shift 15 units, right? So we'll go till 15, and then this minus 5 is again till 10. It is like this, and it is like this, and it is like this. Again, this is 0, this is 5, this is 10, this is 15, and so on, right? So basically what is our final graph? Our final graph is this one. So this graph minus 5 is shifted 10, minus 5 plus 15, that becomes plus 10, and 0 plus 15, this becomes 15, and minus 5 plus 15, this becomes again plus 10, and 0 plus 15, this is again 15. So this is our final graph. Now I will show you the actual graph also. It looks something like this. Okay, so 10 and 15 and 10 and 15 likewise, 10, 15, 10, 15 likewise. Okay, 10, 15, 10, 15. Now the set of all values where this is not differentiable. Where is it breaking? It is breaking at this point, at this point, and at this point, right? These are all the corners. Everywhere else it is, the slope is very clean. Till this point the slope is positive, then it is negative, then again it is positive, then it is negative. So these 3 points where it is not differentiable. So 5, 10, 15. Right. It is just, the graph is actually easy. It is like flipping some 4 or 5 times. Right. And and you don't need to flip these many times also. It's actually, if you are very convenient, you can directly draw the graphs also. Right. Or otherwise, you can see where exactly this absolute value function is actually changing. Right. You can create different functions with respect to an axis between pi 10 or 0, 5, etc., etc., and try to find out the slopes also. Because if we try to simplify this, x when it is greater than 5, greater than less than 5, greater than 10, less than 10, whatever, this equation also simplify, right? You can do that algebraically also, right, guys? Otherwise, drawing the graph is also not very difficult. It is just flipping from 5, 6 times here and there, right, guys? Thank you.